All right, Quentin Grimes. Rokas. I can't say your name, bro. McBride. And Jericho Sims. Those were the Knicks picks after last night's draft. We could be surprised for many reasons. We could be surprised for the trades that went down that we're going to talk about, or for the fact that when we thought we weren't going to come into this draft and actually leave with 4 rookies, we are actually coming out leaving with 4 rookies, 5 rookies if you want to add the rookie that we just signed after the draft. So much to break down, so much to talk about. I'm sure there's so much rage that's going to happen in my comment section. But let's talk about the wild and crazy night that was the NBA draft. Run the intro. What's going on, CK Crew? It's your boy CK2K. Welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Be sure you join the Discord where the conversations always continue, and also make sure you follow me over on Twitch where we stream tonight on Friday. Fun stuff over on Twitch. We could talk about this some more while we're gaming over on Twitch. Now, shout out to my man CP. We had a lot of fun in the draft party last night over on Knicks Fan TV. I know you guys are accustomed to me streaming the draft every single year, but this year got invited by my boy CP, so I had to go and be on Knicks Fan TV for that draft party, and it was a lot of fun. So shout out to everyone that made it over there. The chat was wilding over there. We appreciate all you guys that made it over there, especially my CK Crew who migrated over there and show some love. My man Bailey even called in. A lot of love to everybody in TK Crew over there. I'm sure in future drafts we'll be back doing our draft parties over here, but a lot of fun. Shout out to CP, JD, Chris LeBron, my man Alex, Chip Murphy. But enough with all that nonsense. Let's talk about the draft from last night. Now, we went into this draft with the 19th, the 21st, the 32nd, and the 58th pick, but came out of this draft with the 25th, 34th, 36th, and 58th. I'm just gonna leave it at that part right there, because I know a lot of you guys are looking at it like that and saying like, the Knicks lost. The Knicks lost. So let's break it down real quick before we talk about what I think about the players and stuff like that. So basically what happened when we got to pick 19, the New York Knicks made a swap with the Charlotte Hornets to get a future pick from the Hornets, a heavily protected pick by the Hornets. We're gonna break that down very minimally. I'm not gonna sit here and talk about each year breakdown, but it's a very protected pick that can work in our favor, or it can completely work in the Hornets' favor, depending on what the pick is being used for. But nonetheless, that 19th pick by the Knicks turned into Kai Jones for the Charlotte Hornets, giving LaMelo Ball and that crew another rim runner. Good pick for them, but again, it's 19, so cool. And then getting to 21, we dropped down to the Los Angeles Clippers. We traded that 21 pick to the Los Angeles Clippers, where we selected at 25, where we got Quentin Grimes. Now, before we talk about the second round, I want to talk about my thought process to what happened here, because I think a lot of stuff happened. Now, we have to understand, I know as Knicks fans, we're so accustomed to being in the lottery and being up in the higher spots of the draft. So to hear the Knicks trading down was very peculiar to a lot of Knicks fans. They thought it was very random. It was not a good look. But I think a lot of things happened in this. We saw a lot of players that the Knicks were talking about being very, very excited about dropping as the draft went on. We saw Moody going down. We saw Corey Kispert going down. There's a lot of guys that were looking like they could have possibly made it to us at 19. I fully expect that the Knicks were probably going to make the same splash that the Oklahoma City Thunder did literally the pick before us. I think the Knicks were looking to pick Trey Mann early in this draft, and the minute that he went away to Oklahoma City Thunder, they realized, all right, you know what, let's move this 19. We don't have anything at this pick that we really are in love with. Let's trade this, get an asset from it, and move on to the back. Now, I know that this future first round pick for the Charlotte Hornets is very, very controversial. Some people are seeing this as the Knicks getting nothing out of it, but regardless of what that pick turns into, the pick turns into an asset, and that opens up availability for us in free agency in this offseason to make a move by having another first round pick that could result in a very nice pick in the 2024 draft, which is projected to be the first draft where high school kids are going to be eligible to be coming back up into the draft for the first year. It's going to be an even more boosted draft in 2024, and to have an extra commodity in that draft. And as you remember, Scott Perry has already been stockpiling draft picks for that 2024 draft. So building assets to make any kind of move, even if it doesn't result in a move, but we have those assets and we have that capital to make some kind of moves in the future. Just spitballing here, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but if we were to make a move for like a Damian Lillard, or maybe a smaller move for like Sexton or something like that, we have that kind of draft capital that is going to be appealing to some other teams, regardless if the Knicks keep it or if it's being used. So I know for right now, it seems like the Knicks made a trade for absolutely nothing, but the point of the matter is this is a draft pick that some other team might be intrigued with, as the same way that the Knicks are probably going to be intrigued with it if it works in our favor. Because let's be real, we're banking on the Charlotte Hornets right now, and the Charlotte Hornets, which I'm going to talk about in my other video over on CK Hoops, Charlotte Hornets had a pretty solid draft, but I don't know if the Charlotte Hornets made the moves to make them a playoff contending team yet. As long as they make it to the playoffs or make at least somewhat of a high seed, 7-8 seed, then boom, that pick helps us out because it's protected in the earlier rounds pretty much throughout the lottery throughout the years. But the point of the matter is, I do not expect the Knicks to keep this pick. This pick is going to be used to be a part of a future trade. Chess, not checkers. But what I was previously saying is, I really feel like with that Tre Mann draft pick, and a lot of the guys that the Knicks were really feeling who they were looking for, and they were truly looking for, because if you look at who the Knicks drafted in this draft, these are all Thibodeau guys. We got shooter that also plays defense. We got a point guard that also plays defense and can shoot a little bit. We got Jericho Sims, who this guy is a do-it-all kind of guy, a Dwight Howard light with more athleticism, Thibodeau kind of rim runner. But this draft made a lot of sense. There was a theme to this draft, and I can tell that with a lot of those guys that were there at 19, there was nobody that Tom Thibodeau was fully in love with, so they were okay with moving back, getting the guy that they wanted. And we'll talk about Quentin Grimes in a second. So let me know your thoughts about that. That's just my opinion on that 19th pick and the reason why we made that trade. The point of the matter is, regardless if you feel like we came out with nothing, we traded a pick for another pick, so we still have an asset there for something else in the future. Whether you want to like it or not, be patient, don't jump to the guns. But and remember, it's just the 19th pick. The 19th pick. I don't care how deep this draft was, we still got some talent with the picks that we got. So regardless, just chill out, okay? Breathe. It's the 19th pick. I don't want no conversations about how we could have had Kai Jones. So moving over to the 21st pick now, the New York Knicks ended up trading that one back because, like I mentioned, I don't feel like Tibbs and the front office were in love with anybody at that spot, knowing that Quentin Grimes was one of the guys on their list. So they went back to 25 and they jumped and drafted Quentin Grimes. Now, I know in a lot of people's mocks, people had Quentin Grimes as a second round pick, but let's also be real. A lot of people had Tre Mann as a second round pick and only recently jumped up to be a low 20s pick in a lot of people's mocks, and this guy jumped up. Zaire Williams drafted 10th overall. A lot of the mock drafts got blown up in this draft, so you got to understand, a lot of GMs made a lot of crazy decisions in this draft, so we're going to see how any of it pans out in the first place. But to make that argument that the Knicks reached a bit to get Quentin Grimes, I think that's a whack one, because when you're talking about the 25th overall pick, there's no reach at 25. Remember what we were saying about Emmanuel Quickly last season? Okay, people thought that he was a second round talent that the Knicks reached to get, and this kid was in the running for Rookie of the Year throughout the entire season last year. I'm not saying Quentin Grimes is gonna be the same thing. I'm just saying around this spot in the draft, especially a deep draft like this one, there's no reach. And also, let me remind you guys, Quentin Grimes was a lottery talent, okay? He was a lottery talent that fell. There's a reason why he was slated to be a lottery pick in a previous draft. So Quentin Grimes is not a scrub. Just because he was slated to be a lower pick in this draft does not mean that this kid was not lottery talent. The same thing happened. I have to bring him up again because he was one of my favorite players in the draft, and I hope he works out for the Grizzlies. But Zaire Williams was a lottery talent pick, but because he did not have the greatest season with Stanford, he fell. But they still drafted him knowing that Zaire Williams is probably going to be one of the better players in this draft, and they're not going to go off of just what he did in one season on a team where he made no sense for. So you got to realize that these scouts and the front office is doing their job, and let them do their job. I understand you might think you know more. but let these guys do their job. That being said, Quentin Grimes pick was a good pick. But let me know your thoughts about those 2 picks. I know we didn't come out with 19 and 21, and we only came out with 1 pick, but regardless of what, we did still come out with more assets with those draft picks. We didn't just give them up for nothing. We got a second rounder for the 21st pick, and we got a future first for the 19th pick. We came out with stuff as well as a player at number 25. All right, second round. So 32nd pick came around. We decided to trade this one for 2 second-round picks to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thought that was a nice, solid deal. You really can't argue about that, especially when there were so many players that were still dropping in this draft. It made a lot of sense for the Knicks to do something like that. Again, don't settle for 1 player at 32 when you can get 2 players and still get the guy that you wanted. Like, the Knicks even gambled this one so much that they used the 36th pick on Miles McBride rather than using the 34th pick because they were so certain that he was going to fall down. And Miles McBride was a guy that a lot of people thought was going to jump up into the first round or be an early second round pick, but we were able to snag him at 36.
Way longer than I expected. Everybody's gonna pay for that. I promise you. It's gonna be a Knick.
And then at 34, we ended up drafting, I'm going to learn your name, big guy, Rokas. I cannot say your last name, but the only thing I know about Rokas, and the only thing and it was reminded to me last night, was this dude dropped about 31 points on LaMelo Ball. But there's a lot of raw potential, and I have intel from Lithuania about how good that this kid could be for us. I don't know if he makes the rotation. I don't know if this guy's a future Westchester Knick. I don't know what happens with this guy, but there's excitement there from the people who know about him. I'm going to keep my opinions to the side. I can't wait to see all these guys in the summer league. But we'll see what happens. But the McBride pick, 36, Miles McBride. I love Quentin Grimes. I'm excited to see what Quentin Grimes does. But Miles McBride, after seeing him climb on a lot of mocks and seeing a lot of people talk about him in the last few weeks, I was all in on the Miles McBride pick. I love this. And then I'm sure all of you have seen the clip of this guy locking up Cade Cunningham last season. So there's a lot of upside with this guy. The size is there at the point guard position. I'm excited for this. And let's not forget to mention the kid can shoot. This dude right here, I feel like, is going to be a rotational player at our 36th pick. This guy right here could be the potential to be one of those guys that could surprise the league depending on what we do with the point guard situation going forward. And I know a lot of you guys are the Luka hive, but with the talent of this kid that is a two-way guy, this guy has Tom Thibodeau written all over it, and Luka could be in trouble and become just not even a rotational guy, just be a guy on the bench that's gonna learn some stuff from what's going on in the league. I know a lot of you guys are really excited about Luka Vildoza, but Miles McBride right now fits Tom Thibodeau to the T, and we'll see what he does in the summer league, and we'll see what he does in training camp for this team. But I fully expect at the 36th pick, Miles McBride to be a part of this rotation in the regular season. And then our last pick, which we didn't really have to move or do anything with, is the 58th pick, which was actually our pick. We kept this pick, and we got none other than the big guy, the high jumper, Jericho Sims. This dude, if for those who did not see, Jericho Sims is that guy that busted his face on the rim going for a dunk in the Clutch Sports Pro Day. Yes, that's crazy. And it's funny because we had all these arguments about, Kai Jones and whatnot. And, Kai Jones has potential to be a great player. I like him being with that AAU atmosphere type team with the Charlotte Hornets because he can just go out there and play that kind of style with, with LaMelo Ball and stuff like that. I don't know if that would have worked with the Knicks. He's too raw with the kind of team that we have right now and what we're looking for to make that next step. I don't know if he would have fit what we got right now. And to get a guy like Jericho Sims, who right now seems like he is who he is, and he's a lot more chiseled and put together, I like this pick for us at 58 a lot more. I think this guy, he has the potential to steal a spot and steal rotation. I think he can steal minutes as the 58th overall pick, and he's gonna surprise a lot of people in Summer League. I'm really excited about the guys we got. So once again, Quentin Grimes, Rokas, Miles McBride, and Jericho Sims were our 4 picks, and surprising us all in getting 4 rookies out of this draft. And I'm gonna be completely unbiased and when I give this team a grade, but I think this team, the draft grade for me is it's a low B minus, high C plus. I feel like we could have gotten other people, but at the same time the draft works how the draft works. We weren't expecting Oklahoma City to snag Trey Mann when they snagged Trey Mann. Trey Murphy went a lot sooner. A lot of the guys that we wanted to go for. You can make the argument for Cam Thomas over Quentin Grimes. There's so many arguments that you can make about a lot of these picks, but I still feel like with what we got a good amount of Duece. So I'm gonna give this draft a solid C+. I want to give him the B, but I'm gonna give him a C+, and that's not bad. That's not bad. I still like what we got out of this. The Rokas pick, I'm still trying to learn about that one. I still feel like we could have got somebody else there. I was really looking at Kessler Edwards, but the Nets ended up snagging him later. I was hoping that maybe we can get him, but you know, I'm cool with Rokas. We'll see what he turns into. Hopefully he's a piece for us, or maybe he's just a stash or whatever he ends up being. I don't know, but yeah, C+ for the draft. That's my opinion. That's my draft grade. I'm really curious to hear what you GMs have to say in the chat. I know you guys are gonna be very harsh. You guys have a lot to say, and I'm really excited to hear what you guys can say in the comments below. What are your thoughts about last night's draft for the New York Knicks, and what is next? Free agency begins on Monday, and we have the Summer League coming up here in 2 weeks, and I will be there, and I'm excited to see these young guys starting it up. What happens next? But you know what it is. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to your boy CK2K. Hit that notification bell. Do not forget to like this video. Join the conversation on Discord. If I don't see your comment, I will definitely see you over on Discord. So if you want to be seen, you want to talk, I will see you on Discord. Join the Discord. Links in the description below. Follow me over on Twitch. Again, another way to get a hold of me, because we have a lot of fun conversations on Twitch. Play a lot of games, but we still talk about the Knicks over there on Twitch. Talk about the NBA in general. All right. Much love to all you guys. Cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. You know what it is. Let's get it. The draft is finished and complete. Now I got to do a little bit more research about the guys we have and watch a lot more film about the guys we had. Very excited. Very, very excited. Summer League is next. Free agency is next, and Summer League is next. It's going to be a crazy next few weeks, all right? See you guys next one. I'm out of here. Peace.
Cold pizza Tuesday. I got food up in the fridge. Y'all keep looking for that new wave. I think I like it how it is.